What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of X Factor Fantasy Football. Swiper, y'all know me. What's going on? Anybody score like a league high in points this week? I for sure did. And I still haven't won my matchup, by the way. That's how crazy the weekend was been. So it was a really good weekend. Jenna Garcia, the wonderful, the undefeated until maybe tomorrow morning.
A couple hours from now. Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Still holding out. Number 1 in the league. Was really proud of that last week, obviously. And then I really I shit the bed so hard this weekend. Like it's been hurt. I don't even know what to say. I thought about coming on here and just crying the entire time. Like just, putting my head down, like not speaking. But since Jordan decided he couldn't make it to this episode, I figured that would really, hold you back if I was just in my tears, in my feelings the whole weekend. So many failures on my part, so much overthinking. As soon as I got first place, just overthought the whole thing.
Well, help me understand what you're referencing. So I'm going to go ahead and say, we can start the first segment, biggest miss. Then we're going to get to the best performances. What miss did you feel like you had this weekend?
A few misses in both leagues, unfortunately. One, basically looking at my roster heading into week 4, I felt like I needed to upgrade at my flex position, wide receiver, running back. Who was I going to play there? Nervous about Kenneth Bourne not being able to score enough points. Didn't think Rashee Rice was going to get a touchdown. Never thought that was going to happen. Did not think he was going to score a lot of points, right? Looking at their game logs, 10 points, 11 points was like their highs, 12s. So I was just like, I'm looking for somebody who's going to get me a big, have a big game this week. All of the waiver wire. I talked to everybody who's in like massive leagues. I didn't talk to you because I didn't think you'd give me honest feedback. I feel like you would.
Why would I not give honest feedback? Never.
Because I'm in first place in our league and you have not won a game yet.
I had injuries. Now I don't have injuries, and all of a sudden I'm toppling everybody. So I don't know what to tell you.
That maybe you wouldn't give me honest feedback about should I start, who should I play in this position.
You weren't even playing me. I would have helped you out easily.
I don't know if I can trust that feedback. I don't know. I thought about asking Jordan too, but I wouldn't ask him because, Wes is undercutting me at every corner. He took CJ Stroud off the waiver wire 3 minutes before I was trying to pick him up. So I had to go with Dobbs.
And
fail. No, and there were two other quarterbacks on the waiver wire that would have been better. It's currently still available on our waiver wire. That would be better. Sam Howell, and Desmond Ritter. Both were available on the waiver wire. What was I thinking?
You're down 24 points. So I don't know if that we could have. I think if you would have had Howell, maybe you would have squeaked out a win mathematically.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also at wide receiver, I went with Michael Wilson instead of Rashee Rice, who ended up getting a touchdown, 13 points. That would have helped me out. In my other league,
I could have told you that.
Yeah, that hurt. I trusted my friend from LA and just hurt me. In my other league, I started Kirk Cousins over Joe Burrow. Just terrible.
Well, that was reasonable. That was reasonable getting out Joe.
I started Joe last week. So I gave him a chance. He didn't do much more than Kirk was doing. But obviously, Joe had the more favorable matchup, which I think from now on, I know that Jordan likes to say, like, who's getting the most reps and quantity and stuff like that. But touches, sure. But when it comes to quarterback, I feel like matchup matters a lot. And I should have realized that ahead of time and gone with Burrow instead. Also on my bench, Breece Hall, who pulled in 46 points in that league. And instead, I started
Breece Hall.
James Cook. Well, so in my running backs, I had Puka. No, I had Robinson and Kyron Williams. And then in my third slot, James Cook over Breece Hall. It's such a fail. I'm so disappointed. I'm so upset with myself. You see why I want to just be crying right now? I lost in both leagues.
That's bound to happen, though. That's fantasy football. I mean, think about it. I was 0-4, but so this is what happened. This is what happened, y'all. So I am
You had injuries.
a savant in the trade deadline, by the way. I am a trader. So this week I was able to swing a deal. I got Travis Etienne on my roster, Michael Pittman, and George Pickens. And I traded away Calvin Ridley, Damian Pierce, and Marquise Brown.
To the
And
guy I was going up against, by the way. No regard for
Mhm.
me. No, hey, Jenna, you cool with this because, Ridley hurt me. Hurt me real bad.
Yeah, but the thing is that Travis Etienne outscored Ridley. Travis Etienne had 36.4 fantasy points, so you would have got mud stomped if you're on your roster. Michael Pittman got 10.2, and then George Pickens got 26.6. So you would have gotten, it wouldn't have ended well for you. You wouldn't even have been in the conversation if you would have had started a quarterback.
Well, I'm glad
difference.
you
So
had a big week. You got a big week on top of that with Fields. He finally came through. Did you start him this week?
this is So this is Field. So Justin Field. This is his third straight good. So he had, well, not third, just say two.
Second.
So last
Let's
week
go with two.
he had 27.9 versus the Denver Broncos, and then this week he had 37.8 or 0.98, and then he played Minnesota next week. So I'm telling y'all, this
Bad
is the
defense in
Justin
Minnesota.
Fields experiment. Yeah, he is on the up and up. The team is figuring it out. Somebody said I started Brees. That's mad wild. I started Justin Fields last week too. The Broncos defense is horrible, crazy. Yeah, we all know that. We don't have to get into that. Broncos are hot trash. They're almost bad as the Chargers have been over the last 25 years. All right. So here we are. Who, Jenna, for you, best performances of this weekend? Who are the best performances of this weekend?
Ooh, a lot of good performances. Everyone who was going up against me can't have this segment and not mention DJ Moore. Obviously, had a big game.
Yeah, went off.
Just with Justin Fields. So that was nice to see. And honestly, like I don't like to see one team like suck so bad they can never get a win. They never have any out. Like I want to see everybody's like a little highlights here and there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've liked the Texans so much this year. I mean, we've seen from them is just crap for years now, and we finally are watching a fun offense. Brees Hall really, really hurt me. I think he's probably my top performer of the week. Like if I had to pick one, just because he went out of this world. When I looked at that game, it was, and I mean, it's against the Broncos, so it feels a little bit better. Like in my heart, in my soul, it feels just a little warm to see the Broncos lose like that. To see Sean Payton and Wilson like not making eye contact at each other. I love passive aggressive men in the middle of a football game. Just like I ain't watching. I'm not paying attention to you. And then to see Brees Hall, and I'm pretty sure if I don't have it wrong, the defender who scored for the Jets, right? Is his name Bryce Hall? Was that Bryce Hall?
So there's Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff is the DN.
Okay.
And then they also have another corner named Paul. I went to Virginia.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Hall. Last name Hall.
Yeah, Bryce Hall.
I just thought it was hilarious that like everybody scoring in this game was Hall. Like, and I was making jokes all day. Like, just Brees Hall's cousin just decided to join the game real quick, and he's running one up. It felt hilarious. I'm sure you have different opinions on that game.
I don't care. I want the Broncos to lose every game. So, all right. My best performances start off, don't need to go anywhere else. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had, of his career, his second 50-point game of his career. The only two people to ever do that at receiver, Jamar Chase and Jerry Rice. The only two players to ever have two 50-point fantasy football games over the course of their career. Jamar Chase this last weekend had 15 receptions, Cincinnati Bengals record, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, 19 targets, and he had a 78.9% catch rate, a 93% snap count. And look, this is what we were all waiting for. This is what we were all waiting for. If you, like me, drafted Jamar Chase in the first round, you were looking for possibly the best receiver in fantasy football. You look at an explosive athlete who can do it all, route tree galore, And Joe Burrow and him made massive connections this weekend. Joe Burrow, best game of the
Finally.
year.
And he's on my
23
bench.
Right, 23.4 points for Joe Burrow. If you're in half PPR, a little bit higher than that. I believe it was 29. But Jamar Chase had a game. As you said, DJ Moore. Travis Etienne, he had 136 rushing yards, 48 receiving yards, 4 receptions, and 2 touchdowns for 36.4 points this last weekend. And Zach Moss, who we all thought Jonathan Taylor was going to take over that backfield, apparently not, at least for this week in week 5. Zach Moss, 165 yards rushing, 30 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns for 33.5 points. And then Justin Fields with 33 points as well. So there you got Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, Justin Fields, Zach Moss, kind of out of nowhere. Zach Moss continuing to dominate. Justin Fields having a resurgence in the middle of the season, obviously with week 5. And look, if you have these players on the roster, you feel mighty good about them. Also, another shout out last night, Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers. Hadn't scored all year. And then George Kittle has one of his best games last night. George Kittle has just 3 receptions for 3 touchdowns, and he ends up scoring 27.7 fantasy points. Jenna Garcia. Just an absolutely bona fide game. Looked like George Kittle last year in the fantasy football playoffs. So those are my best performances from this last weekend.
Yeah, George Kittle, did you hear he said the play for that if you're not betting Christian McCaffrey for a touchdown every single game, like you might want to jump on that. How about jumping on Kittle's a touchdown every game too?
Mm-hmm.
Also on my list, I think you didn't mention him. Just Josh Allen and Jared Goff, both pretty good games for quarterbacks. We didn't really mention too many other QBs, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody playing against me or sitting on my bench, bro. Literally went off. I made terrible decisions this week. I don't know what I was thinking. It was all the travel, maybe. I wasn't in my right mind.
Every dog has their day. This is just fantasy football. You've been doing really well all season, and so all of a sudden, you finally had a come back to earth moment.
I actually don't think it's going to change the standings. I've looked at the research a little bit. I'm like, it might bump me down to 2, but I think I hold 1 still because I have, if you look, the number of points scored against me is the lowest by like 100, the next guy. So, but this week,
that's
the
thing though. That's the thing about fantasy football is that typically will swing at some point in time, because right now I got 519.98 scored against me, and I believe that's the 3rd highest in our league. So 413. You've had a lot of variance, so you scored 564 points, so that's really good. I believe you have the 2nd highest scoring team so far in fantasy football while facing the least amount of competition on a per week basis. So that's good. That's a good formula for stacking that win. So we'll see. But so we also tonight have Monday Night Football. And this is going to be a big day because Davante Adams is playing. Jimmy Garoppolo is back. And guess what? The rumor on the street is Aaron Jones will not be playing tonight.
Really?
No Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones looks like he's going to be out tonight. So if you were fortunate enough to have one of the best and I think most necessary handcuffs in fantasy football in A.J. Dillon, then you're obviously going to fire up A.J. Dillon tonight. But if you don't, there is no one else to go to. So you are more than likely kind of screwed out for the rest of the night. So take that L on the way out, as Michael Malone would like to say for the Denver Nuggets. But yeah, tonight, Davante Adams, Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Jordan Love, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson. Those are the players that we're looking to fire up tonight. Jenna, what do you think? Is there anybody that you think could have a really good matchup tonight? Packers versus the Raiders.
I kind of think I would take like Davante and Josh Jacobs each for a touchdown. I would guess each of them get a TD. You're getting Jacobs at plus 475 odds and Adams at plus 600, which isn't.
What app are you on?
I'm on DraftKings. Sponsor us.
DraftKings.
Yeah, plus 500 to be the first touchdown. Anytime scorer. Oh, no, my bad. Josh Jacobs is at -140. So, like, that's a lock. And if you parlay both together, you're getting it at +208. Plus, DraftKings has like a promo that you can opt into every single night, a 50% boost on Monday Night Football, or you can do a no sweat any day, every day NFL bet.
I love that.
No
Well, look,
sweat. You get the money back if you lose.
I think I'm taking. I might hit the Green Bay Packers money line tonight. Josh Jacobs touchdown, Devontae Adams touchdown. How about this? So for a plus 2,800, each team to score a touchdown and a field goal in each half. Plus 2,800 odds. Yeah, that's a lot. I probably wouldn't take that, but that seems to be like one of the throwouts for today.
Yeah. That was another thing that killed me. The kicker I was going up against, the Jets kicker, literally punt after punt after punt. You know what my kicker did? Nothing, because
who's your kicker?
Bass for the Bills.
Okay.
Because Josh Allen decided to have a game. It was just terrible week for me.
Well, they were getting smacked most of the day versus Jacksonville in London, though.
Yeah, it was a weird game, but not kicking. I watched, not kicking, not punting, not field goal, no field goals. It was so annoying.
Yeah. So again, if you are looking to win your matchup tonight, I'm definitely starting Adams, starting Josh Jacobs, your main. Hunter Renfrow in the slot. I probably wouldn't start anybody else on the Raiders right now. I think the Packers definitely starting A.J. Dillon. I'm starting Romeo Doubs. A lot of people don't realize this, but Romeo Doubs is having a sneakily really good year. Romeo Doubs currently on the Sleeper app. Shout out Sleeper. Romeo Doubs is currently
jumped too. Last two games, really.
Yeah, Romeo Doubs this season has scored 18.6 points, 5 points, 18.3, and 18.5 points. He's been absolutely balling, and he's currently wide receiver 34 on the Sleeper app. So, again, that's a dude. You need a spot starter. This is the flex option. You need to get a win tonight. I'm definitely going ahead and rolling with him. But, Jenna, we have a lot to talk about on Wednesday because, one, you weren't here last Wednesday, so we got to make up for that. But then, two, a lot of decisions to make on the waiver wire, a lot of decisions to make in your spot starts if you need, because we got some bye weeks that are coming up for this week and stuff as well. So, should be a lot of action coming up.
Jimmy G is a free agent in our league right now. Is he worth the pickup?
No.
Not until after tonight's game?
I'm probably not picking up Jimmy G. Let me see. Sam Howell's available in this league, though, it looks like. No. Is he?
Sam Howell's on the waiver wire, yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Sam Howell before Jimmy G. Yeah, for sure. Gary Brightwell. Jerry Jeudy is, yeah, that's right. Somebody dropped him in the trade last week.
I saw you picked up Mims after I dropped him.
Yeah, just in case one of those bash players to have on the roster, in case I have a couple injuries or something like that. But you know what? If everything keeps going well, I got Cooper Kupp, Michael Pittman, Romeo Doubs, George Pickens at receiver, and I got Joshua Palmer. So I should be stacked at receiver for now. Plus, having Javonte Williams or Jaleel McLaughlin, who had another really good game, Travis Etienne, and Saquon Barkley, my running back. Again, y'all might be in trouble. And Justin Fields is playing well again. If I got this whole roster healthy, and by the way, y'all, Cooper Kupp's first game back, 19.8 fantasy points. First game back.
I know. He'd be taking them from the other guys.
Yeah, and then Puka Nacua still had a really good game as well. So both are viable starters. But yeah, Jenna, got a lot of stuff to tap into.
I see you think that we should be afraid already. The whole league should be on notice because Swiper picked up ETN this weekend and he made some trades. You haven't even won one game, Swipe, but let's just get through that.
Nah, yeah, and I scored 100 on pace to score 190 points. So I'm telling y'all enjoyed this time when my team was down. Jenna got the first place because I was dealing with injuries. But I got Saquon coming back next weekend too. All right, y'all in trouble.
The only reason you're going to win this is because Aaron Jones, you're going up against Aaron Jones, and the owner of this team did not take him off his roster before.
No, first off, I'm up 175 to 38 to 162 to 28, and I have Romeo Doubs playing tonight. So I'm projected for 185 points tonight. And if he has 18 points again, like he does, that's 193 points tonight, which would be the highest score in the league so far this year. So
like me last week, the highest score, and you were like,
how many points did you have? 170?
180 something.
No, I'm gonna get 190 tonight. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
Don't
but
worry.
let's just see.
We ain't
Let's
worry
just
about
wait
your.
for you to do
We
it
ain't worry
before.
about. We
Let's
ain't
just
worry about
wait
your
for
little
you to
bitty
do it.
180.
No, let's just
We
wait
ain't worry about your little
before
180.
we assume it happens. Because I
We
see
ain't
one
worry
of
about
your
your little
Mims
180.
got minus 6.60. So
On my bench, yeah, I didn't play him. Man, that's cool. That's fine. He had a bad game. But look, hey,
Thank
shout out
you.
to y'all. We will be back on Wednesday. Another episode of X Factor Fantasy Football. We're going to talk about Monday Night Football, talk about the waiver wire matches of the week, and hopefully Jenna will be here. She's not traveling all over the country, and Jordan will be back as well.
Yep.